everybody. Welcome. Hopefully you can hear me okay. Volume should work. But you never know. Yeah, it's working. Welcome. I have an important message today. Today is Friday the 13th, one of my favorite days. My name is Master Juniper Blue Mystique. I am an Ascension Master, a Master Healer, and a Divine Guide. Since 2019, I have been doing things for the return of Christ. That is truly who I am and what I have been doing. Today is no exception to that. So today something really cool kind of came through. But Spirit's message today is about honoring the way path, right? Today I did day 3 of our workshop, and it is the 13th of Friday. 13 is significant because it's quite a very powerful spiritual number. So today in our workshop, we kind of integrated the portal, like the center of the eye portal, but they kept saying honoring the way path. Okay. It was like this earth healing shaman journey that we did. And I uncorked Kilimanjaro. Literally, I didn't realize there was like something keeping it from being released, but there was. And today we undid it. So I activated Kilimanjaro like a couple years ago, I think now, maybe a year ago, 2 years ago. So Kilimanjaro is a masculine pyramid set. That was part of the masculine pyramid activations. Very important stuff. And what kept coming through was like to honor the way path, to honor spirit, the spirit within us. So that's very important today. And all that we do, just honor spirit, honor the earth. And so if you can take time to connect with the earth, to put your feet on the earth, to honor the earth, that's super important. Something else also came through is that to protect our thoughts. Why is that important? Throughout history, throughout space, our thoughts were not always ours. You may have noticed that, right? Sometimes we just get these overwhelming thoughts. Our brain can't shut up. They're not always our thoughts. So Spirit's talking very loudly about protecting our thoughts, making sure our thoughts are of love and light. That's very important. And honoring the way path. Okay. Now, as I get started today, I have some cards I'll pull. I will call forth an angel or something. I'll let them guide a little bit of a healing. But I'm going to also light some Palo Santo. The mind is quite important. It's very powerful. And a lot of times people do have a harder time controlling the mind. I work, before my healing awakening journey, I was in psychology, a behavioral field. I am mastering hypnosis, actually, and things like that, okay? So I understand the mind in both ways, both sides of it. Spiritually speaking, physically speaking, psychologically speaking. The mind is quite powerful, but it is actually our weakness. It is a tool that we must overcome, okay? In the awakening journey in my soul path, in undoing Mount Shasta, which Kilimanjaro was significant for, by the way, in undoing Mount Shasta, I realized something I didn't know before. Mount Shasta is the red dragon. I didn't know that. I thought just like everybody else, it's the spiritual place people go. No, it's not. And it wasn't. It's quite dark. Okay. What they did there, what Mount Shasta was a lie. It was part of a false illusion. Now today, I also want to say something they want me to say is that the solar plexus was a focus at Kilimanjaro. Okay. So it did, like, the importance was our power center, right? Our power center. Matter of fact, one of the creative images I got was of a massive snake. So it's all about power. Okay, our power center. What was our true power? And Mount Shasta was always known as the Earth's root chakra, but it's a lie. It was kind of taken. So when you think about the veil of illusion and how do they get in our mind, that's how they did it. Okay. They created a false grid system, a false system of the earth. and it's been undone, right? That's what's been happening. So Kilimanjaro came into play today to uncork it. That's what I call it. Like we pulled out these things from all three mountains there. They're volcanoes. Okay. So in undoing Mount Shasta, I return the root chakra back to Fiji. That's the true root chakra. Okay. The sacral is like Titicaca. And for today, I didn't ask specifically, but the solar plexus kept coming in at Kilimanjaro. And that represents power, return of the earth, and a very loud message to honor the gods, honor spirit, honor the way path. You know, people think of it as just simply the ascension. If you're religious, a lot of people think of it, hey, it's a return of Christ. Both are true, but it's more than that, okay? Spirit doesn't call it the apocalypse. That's a negative word. What Spirit calls it is the return of the gods. You see, Fiji is also where they house the portal of the gods. I know, because when I activated the pyramid there, returned the root chakra there, cut off California from life support after freeing all those souls from Mount Shasta, and I opened up the God portal. Okay, so this 13th day is about heaven on earth, going into the eye of the sun, going into our power. Okay, going into our power. Very important. Very important. Our power is what's returning. Okay, that's why in order to rise, we must be in our full power. Part of rising is taking our power back every step of the way. Another thing that's also coming up in the energy, and why it's important to be aware of our thoughts right now, is have you been paying attention to who's really in charge? Right? I spoke of riots. When I channeled a while ago about what's going on in the White House, it was a few months back. I said riots were going to heighten. Well, there was one this morning that was like, it hit hard. They are now spreading riots of no kings here, something like that. They're going around saying no kings here, right? Friday the 13th is cleared and reclaimed, my friend. Absolutely. And on the 13th of, was it May this year, I undid the judicial system. Okay. That's who's been in charge the whole time. Have you ever been through the judicial system? It feels like hell. Like it really does. And I have never been in trouble, but like I had kids and divorce and all that kind of stuff. And it always boggled my mind how they were in charge of my life, my kids' life. Right? I know, right? We always think that the White House is the big darkest of all. I'm going to say they were part of the yuck, right? But we're kind of finally truly seeing who's been in charge the whole time. And I saw this clip this morning where it said, no, they're starting riots that say no kings here. And Trump made a response and I copied it. I'll paste it in the things later. Where he's like, I'm not a king. I go through hell to make any decisions at all. We may not like some of his decisions, but he is against the agenda. He's not a part of that. And if you notice, everything he does, every single thing he has done has been undone through the judicial system. And so it's kind of cool to be able to see all this. That's part of that. Why is it important to see the truths? So that we call our power back. Okay, when I started this journey years ago, I said it's about shaking everything up to the surface so that we can see what's really truly been right beneath our feet. And they would get in our heads, right? These negative thoughts, it would kind of take our power away. So the mind's a very important tool, okay? And it does tie into Mount Shasta. It ties into the veil of illusion, right? God always said, if you put the Truman Show and the Wizard of Oz together, that's like them saying, look at what we did. Ha ha. It is all part of the Great Awakening. Absolutely. But if you don't call your power back, like that's something you have to do as an individual. You have free will. So the ascension's happening. Oh yeah, regardless if you want it to or not, it's happening. But you have free will in that. So it is truly up to you to make sure you are in your power. Okay. And you do that by choosing love, knowing your power, being internal, and not giving your power away to the shadow. Okay. So those negative thoughts get in. It happens to me. I'm on a twin flame journey, have been since my awakening. Didn't even believe in that. I have to tell you, by the way, did not believe in twin flames. Never anything I focused on. I was like, yeah, right. And then when I had my awakening, I realized I was one. And the whole entire path was us returning together and clearing all that shadow stuff. And it was intense as all get out. So oftentimes these negative thoughts just come in towards my twin flame, just randomly. Like I will wake up because that's when we're most vulnerable. And I will hear these negative thoughts. I'm like, no. And in those moments, when those thoughts come in, no matter what they're about, yourself, fear, false timelines, what do you do when those thoughts come in? Do you know what to do? That's the question. Immediately don't pick them up. Immediately recognize that something's off and call your power back. I say it out loud. Just, I call my power back. I clear this. That's not mine. I choose love. And then you need to take actions towards that, right? So if you're like going to start something, a project or a business or whatever it is that your heart's been nudging you to do, and then all of a sudden this negativity comes in, this resistance comes in, what do you do? That is the question. That's the most important thing, is in the moment. Do not hesitate. Do not ever hesitate and give it 1 ounce of your energy, because it's a lie. You are a creator. That's your God-given right. That is your superpower. Ooh, I just got so many chills when I said that. But they took that. We weren't in charge. Get real. We had some illusion of freedom. Okay. So when those come in, call back your power. Don't just call back your power. Clear it out. Call your power back. Put up protections and choose very wisely in your actions in those moments. Do not hesitate, because they come in when something important's there. And you also need to look within and heal any connection to that negativity. And then you better believe the way the universe works, my friends, is something's going to circle back around. And you're going to have a choice. And you can say, yeah, no, I choose my power. I choose to take this action, even if it's kind of scary. Even if it means I have to be vulnerable. Even if it means I have to trust that I'm no longer controlled by them. So how am I going to do these things, right? These are important right now, because we are in the eye of the storm. You know, in the eye of the storm, I've seen a lot of synchronicities, by the way. It came through today. In the eye of the storm, what happens? When we are in the eye of the storm, what happens? And I saw this very vividly today during the workshop. Like I was surrounded by this massive energy vortex, just spewing. Like I'm talking like the most destructive tornado you've ever seen. And I was right in the eye where it was super calm. That is where the earth is, in the eye. That's what Spirit showed me. Okay. And then I saw water, lots of water. And I uncorked Kilimanjaro. Now, if you watch my work, that is significant. Very. Okay. But the simplest message in that, what we can do as individuals, is get into the eye of the storm. No matter how chaotic it is, no matter how up-leveled and strange and so many synchronicities, so much resistance might be coming against you, you have a superpower. If you can get into that eye of the storm, ain't nothing can touch you. That's your power. talks about alignment, stillness, right? Choosing the path, the way path, the heart. The heart is your superpower. That's where you're going to find that light of God. God is within. He's not external in some book. He's within you. All of that knowledge, all of your truth is in here. Okay? So get in that eye of the storm. So important right now. It is so important right now. Okay? Because that's what I saw today, is the earth is now in the eye of the storm. I took us into the center of the sun after I uncorked Kilimanjaro. So what does that tell you? Knowing what the ascension is, right? Like we are there. But you have free will, my friends. So some people are going to be like, yeah, right. And guess what their reality is going to be? Yeah, right. They're going to be in the chaos. They're going to be in the storm. In the war, in the falling out, in the fear, in a false timeline that's a lie. And they won't be able to see through into that eye of the storm. Okay? So your superpower is getting aligned to that heart center, getting in that eye of the storm where the calm is, while the storm is all around. We can't force anybody to come with us, but you have a choice. Okay? And your choice is your superpower. Do you give your power of the light to the shadow, to fear, to the chaos, to the storm? Or do you stand in your power and trust every little thing that comes through your heart, even if it's a vulnerability? Another thing that came through today that I had to look up was after I uncorked, I like saying that, we like unplugged Kilimanjaro, 3 layers, right? 3 mountains there, 3 pyramids. They were pyramids that I activated, but they're also volcanoes. Those do go hand in hand, by the way. If you pay attention to the pyramids that I activated, there's a large connection to volcanoes. Okay, the pyramids that I activated, they're all on this channel. Indonesia, Myanmar, Machu Picchu. Did you know Machu Picchu is the portal of Atlantis, by the way? Thailand, Botswana, Zimbabwe, Nigeria. Try to remember them all. They're all on this channel. Fiji was the very first one. Those are the feminine ones. The masculine was Ecuador, Congo, British Columbia, and Kilimanjaro. Kilimanjaro is significant for the undoing of Mount Shasta. Okay. And the Veil of Illusion. Now, when I did that today, I uncorked Kilimanjaro. I know it sounds so strange, but that's what I do. That's what I do. I'm a very powerful light worker. If you've ever had a one-on-one healing session with me, you know this shit's real. Like, we can't, it's hard to deny. So we uncorked it. And then I saw, okay, so this was the weird part, because they kept saying it was a shaman journey today, and we were walking the healer path of the earth. And so we went to certain areas, the eye of the sun, Kilimanjaro, the mountains, the trees, the rivers, and seas. And that kept coming up, okay? Then all of a sudden, it looked like the mountains at Kilimanjaro, these buffalo, like hundreds, and I mean hundreds of buffalo, and it came out in my image I have to create. I'm like, oh gosh, I've never drawn a buffalo. Just started running away. And even like souls of buffalo started rising. And I'm like, what is this? I had to look that up. And it talks about honoring the spirit side of things, honoring the earth and honoring spirit. And they started running away from the mountain, okay, during the guided portion of the workshop, the meditation portion, after I uncorked Kilimanjaro. So there's a significance there. Animals sense things before people do, right? But the buffalo is also very important. And I kept calling it like a shaman journey today. So that's what happened in the workshop today, okay? Very important to understand that. Even if it's hard to understand here, if you're more centered here, it's going to make more sense, Okay, because just like in light language, I don't hear it here. When I first said light language, it blew my mind. I was like, oh my God, what did I just do? It just came through. I'm a pure channel. That's what I teach. That's what I do. And it just came through. And I'm like, what did I just say? And my heart just showed you. Like, you'll feel it. You'll see it here. Right? So the more quiet our mind, the more we will actually see. So it's very important right now on this 13th day to honor the eye of the storm, to honor spirit, earth, God within you. Super important to do that. So if you do rituals, even just meditating into the earth is so important today. I can't say that enough. I also took us into like an ethereal Merkaba activation into the galactic frequency. So it's 70 energies coming in. And did you see, I don't know if you guys watch Stephen Burns, but the sun and the moon were involved. And he's like, oh my gosh, they just aligned and like all these northern lights are like, I'm like, yep. So the energy is very real, very palpable, very, very palpable and very real. So what you can do to ensure you are in that eye of the storm is make sure you're grounded, connecting to the earth, connecting to your heart space, honor God, honor spirit within you. Okay. God is not outside of us. There should be no separation, no division. Okay. And did you notice who's really in charge? Okay. So back to the Trump story and issue. Whether you like him or not, it's not about that. It's okay. I don't always like him either, but it's not about that. I know his path. I know his purpose. And I know he's not part of the agenda. And so in LA, they have the riots, right? And he invoked the National Guard. Well, the judge took that back. And then all of a sudden, there's all these protests sparking up saying no kings around here. Like, can we get any more obvious? My son's like, Mom, those are probably like paid for by them. I'm like, dude, you're so smart. Like, he just said that. I didn't say anything. He's like, those don't seem right. I'm like, I know they don't. 2222 when I looked up just then. So, but when you look back on May 13th, it was a full moon. The 12th, I think, was actually the full moon. And God said, don't do anything that day. So I didn't. I did it on May 13th. It's on this channel. And it was a full moon in May, just a couple months ago. Wait, was it May? April? Somewhere in there. What are we in? June? So it was recently. I lose time because I'm never in our time. Like, it's always spiritual. They called it De la Muerte, Day of the Dead. And I undid the judicial system after I undid the Sistine Chapel. Okay. Kilimanjaro is significant because that's when I undid the White House. And that was a while ago. So all three components are heightened right now. All three components. Kilimanjaro, which is when the White House burned. There was these like caves underneath the White House, you guys. And there was like these people wearing the cloaks with like these upside down crosses, and all that was undone. That was when I activated Kilimanjaro pyramids. Those are the masculine ones. That's what came through. So these are significant, okay? And then on May 13th, the full moon on the 13th, 13 is the 13 gates, 13 pyramids that were activated. 13 is the house of God. That's the final portal number. They lied, right? They said there was 12. There's 13. 13 is the 7th gate. So there's a significance to why God will have me do those on that day that I didn't see yet. So I undid the judicial system on the 13th. And then today we uncorked Kilimanjaro. Kilimanjaro is when I burned the White House. Okay. Is it kind of coming together? It's vast. It took me years to understand. But if you watch those videos, it's going to be like, holy shnikes, Batman. Right? Like, whoa, we are definitely in some changing times. Now, I'm not one who's going to be like, oh my God, better watch out. All this shit's going to go down. I don't ever try to dictate or assume. I just tell you what God tells me. I tell you what I've done, what came through, and then we watch it unfold. That's what we do. There's no fear in God. 44444 when I said that, by the way. There's no fear with God. Okay. If you're in the eye of the storm and you can see and you're in your power, those of us that are rising. That's what it takes, but it's your free will. Okay. So fear will hook, line, and sink you. It's not about that. But I will tell you, the red dragon was Mount Shasta when we undid that. Okay. That was one of the prophecies that recently unfolded. The Sistine Chapel was undone. After I did part 2, 2 weeks later, the Pope died on Easter. And I told you his heart would stop. And it did. About 2 weeks later on Easter. Told you what Easter really was. Okay, it's all there. Like this stuff is very... It's mind-blowing. It's outside of our normal capacity of understanding. But it's so cool. And it's so real. It's so cool. And it's so real. And then today I'm like still putting it together. So it's all there. De la Muerte was done on the 13th of May, I believe. It's on this channel. Today we uncorked Kilimanjaro, which is when the White House was demolished. And you can see what's happening to Trump, right? Dude, that guy went through hell to get where he's at. Let's give him a little credit for that, right? He's taken a beating to get there. He's constantly judged, ridiculed, put down, tried to kill him like 3 different times. You know what I'm saying? So if nothing else, he at least has my credit for that. He's gone through hell. And he'll sit there and tell you, I'm not a king. I can't even make a ruling. Like it keeps getting undone. So we can finally see the truth. Okay, we can finally see who's been really in charge. And when I undid the Sistine Chapel, the next thing I undid was the judicial system. Those 2 things were considered part of the darkest portal. The White House was just like a tentacle of it. Does that make sense? I hope it does. It's pretty cool. All right. On another note, I will pull a quick card for the collective. If you guys want a message, let me know. I can do that. Or I can do a guided healing. If you're here, what do you want? It's Friday the 13th, one of my favorite days. So if you want a guided healing, we'll just do a guided healing. If y'all want some messages for free, let me know. You can have some messages. I'll let you kind of run the show. For really quickly, though, I will just pull a general card for everybody. He did, didn't he? Colette's right. Yes, he went through hell for playing his role. Dude, that guy went through it. I'm getting so many chills, you know. First bad-mouthing him, just putting him down, and it's like Abraham Lincoln. You know, they talk about Abraham Lincoln. Why is Abraham Lincoln significant? Did you guys watch me undoing Mount Shasta Part 1? I undid the Emancipation Proclamation. That came out in that. And I didn't understand the significance. Colette would like a message? Absolutely. You can have one. Free. No worries. I'll tell you, I don't limit them. You will get a full-on message for whatever spirit wants you to know. But when I undid the Mount Shasta Part 1 way back in 2021, I didn't know what that was. And I freed all these souls and processed all this bloodshed there. And then the Emancipation Proclamation came up and I undid that. So they lied to you. He did want freedom, but there's a reason he was assassinated. Okay? It makes sense now. Like it really does after everything I did. And then with Trump, like they were both like 2 of the most hated presidents throughout history. And they were both 2 of the most change enforcing and inducing presidents. Okay. And there's no coincidence that they tried to kill Trump as well. So it all kind of is coming full circle right now. It's pretty cool, you guys. It's really, really actually kind of cool. And the really cool part is God had me record all this stuff. I didn't know what I was doing. I had no idea. I can't make this stuff up if I tried. I had no idea. I was in the psychology field, not religion, and I wasn't spiritual. And so when he's like, start doing workshops, start doing one-on-ones, and he's like, record it. I was like, it came about because somebody was really weird in one of my sessions. And I was like, that didn't feel right. So it was a cover my ass moment. CYA, I was covering my ass. So I started recording things. But it was because of that I have the entire journey recorded. So I started doing workshops and recording those. I record all my one-on-one healing sessions because I get medical stuff in them too. And I'm not a doctor, and it creates fear in people. I'm like, but if I say it, I'm healing it. So don't be afraid. but they just naturally do. So I record everything I do. And because of that, we can look back and go, holy shit, that's what happened when I did this. That's what that was. That's what activating the pyramids were. So when I say it's on this channel, it's on this channel. Okay, watch them and just absorb them, observe them. Okay. All right. So really quickly, I will pull a collective message. Colette wants a message, so I will give her one. If you want a message, hell, if you want a healing, maybe I'll do a quick healing on you. I don't know. It's my favorite day. I love the 13th on Fridays. 13 is a really good number. So I'm just here for you guys. Okay. If you want a little quick guided healing meditation, I also said I'll do that too, but I do lots of those, so you won't miss out. All right, really quickly for the collective soul. So Saint Germain is coming in. So y'all should know by now I burp when I'm connecting. If you don't know me, that's a natural thing. We just kind of get used to it. You know, I never knew I'd grow up to be a female burping in people's faces, but I do. And it's all gravy. That's just who I am as a healer. But Saint Germain is coming in. So the Akasha Records, if you don't know anything about the Akasha Records, what Spirit calls it is the Hall of Recordation of all things, what it is. You can access it through your heart space. Okay, the first card that came out, y'all, is number 13. Release. Release the collective shadow. That's what I'm hearing here. This is a collective message. This is not Colette's yet. Release the collective shadow. So in my videos, I showed you I undid the collective shadow and individual shadow. We all have both. You must release the collective shadow. Okay, any parts of the collective shadow, the money matrix, the food matrix, the medical matrix, the religious matrix, it's all in this channel. And a lot of them are healings you can get, except for the medical matrix. YouTube banned it. It's only in the path. I tried to upload it. But all the rest are here. We have to, Colette yawns and burps to clear. Heck yeah. I used to sweat profusely. It's gross. So I'll take burping. And I also used to take on their symptoms. Whew, I'll take burping. There's lots of ways to release, right? So spiritually speaking, we need to be aware of the collective shadow. And that's what they're talking about, being in the eye of the storm. If we're in our full power and we're aligned through the heart space, that is our key. Okay. Do not give your power away to the shadow. That's the collective shadow. And we do it. So people are going to tell me, well, I have to eat. I have to pay my bills. Dude, so do I. I'm a single mommy. That's who I am. Okay. I had a really good career in psychology. And then my awakening said, different road. So I get it. But we are actually master creators. Okay. So you have to trust in the universe. You have to trust that Spirit has our back. The universe has our back. Our heart has our back. We'll know what to do. We're very powerful. So if we're in fear over money, if we're the money matrix, right, they create fear. The medical matrix creates fear and they take our power away. Is it making sense? So when this says release the collective shadow, that's what I'm talking about. Pay attention to where fear is induced and call your power back in every way, but your actions must match. So I've had people literally go, well, I choose love, but then they still give their power away to the shadow. And it's like, you can say anything you want, but your actions must match. Okay. When times are difficult, your actions show your character. That's what determines our path. Trust me. Okay. My path was not easy. Do you know what it feels like to actually be soul connected to a twin flame and feel their heart stop? Like I felt it. It wasn't pretty. Okay. It's not always easy journey, but it's possible. You will find strength and balance and connection from the heart space. Okay. All right. And then, so these are the cards from this deck. Release the collective shadow. No coincidence, it's number 13, eh? And then simply love. We forgot how to love. We were taught conditional love. We were taught tough love. We were taught survival. We were taught to be outside of our body and in our head. We don't have a mental health issue. We have an emotional one. I worked crisis. I know this. We do not have a mental health issue. We have an emotional one. We've been taught to be in our heads and detached from our body. So get in. You see the light coming out of his chest there? Get in your heart space. It's okay, right? That's the safest place to be. Get out of the head. Logic will come in. You will balance through that. I'm not saying there shouldn't be logic. Absolutely. But when you're guided by your heart space, you're guided by love. Okay. Look at the number 6. So the first thing I said is our thoughts. 6. Why is 666 the mark of the beast? People are always looking for like these weird marks. Like if you have lines on your hand, that's a mark of the beast. It's more simple. 666 represents thoughts. They get in our head. They were connected to that light. They were connected to the all connectedness through the head. God is in the heart. Okay. So that's why we need to quiet the mind. Simply love. Do all things through love. Come together in love. Don't judge. Don't separate. Don't force people's power. Just make sure you're in your own. Make sure you're 55555. By the way, make sure you're creating from your power. Okay. Because that is your superpower. Another final card here on this one. Some message from our loved ones really quick. The veil is done. Like the veil is very, very, some people call it thin, but it's not coming back. Okay. That was Mount Shasta. So if you don't know if you're a medium yet, talk to spirit. That's what I'm hearing very loudly. Talk to spirit, talk to spirit, talk to spirit. So I've been coming through in your dreams. Somebody is saying I've been coming through in your dreams. And then the spirit card is learn to communicate more. This is internal communication with spirit. Okay. But also with people. So we should communicate through love, not judgment. Communicate from all connectedness, not division, separation, and judgment. 666. And then, but somebody's loved one is literally saying that I've been coming in your dreams and I've been trying to talk to you. I've been trying to talk to you. Like you can feel me like water's emotions. We're connected very deeply, they're saying. And so hear me because I'm trying to help you in your awakening journey. And it's a female. Part of me wants to go to like sister, aunt, also grandma. So I'm feeling a few different energies here because it's a collective. It's not just necessarily one. This is in your bloodline. And that's what they're telling me. So for whoever that relates to. But I feel like on a general level, we can all communicate with spirit much more. Okay. All of us can communicate with spirit much more. Like truly, you guys, when I do a one-on-one healing session, they're not limited. I have loved ones coming through. I see the ailments inside your body. We go on journeys. Like you should be able to connect with all things. Okay. Just like Reiki and everything. So what I'm trying to tell is that we should be able to tune into all modalities. Then we have memory. So memory talks about past things coming back up, but also pertaining to love. So there is some healing. So remember when I said your loved ones here in the water emotions, there's healing coming up that pertain to our past, our loved ones, and love. Okay, so we've all suffered loss. I don't care who you are. You've had some form of loss somewhere. This lifetime to a next, we've all had memories of love. We all have things from the past coming up to reconcile, to heal, so that we can love more and communicate better. Look at, we have communication again. Okay. Be aware of what you're communicating. 9 means that we have to learn a lesson. There's a lesson coming up through communication. So maybe those thoughts get in and we speak them. Be very careful about that. That was part of the message in the very beginning of the video. That's how because it's a low vibration, right? Our vocal cords vibrate. And so when we say 888, when we say things that are not love, it's like this vibration, and it will either take you higher or cut you down. So be aware of what you're communicating. Only pick up love. Only speak love, even if you don't believe it yet. Like if your self-esteem's low and you get all these negative thoughts, speak the opposite. Okay. Raise your vibration that way, the way we communicate. Pay attention to communications from spirit. So this is a 2-line card. Okay, one more card, and then Colette is up for her free message. So with your permission, I will go fully into your energy in a moment, Colette. If you have any questions, don't ask me, just ask spirit. Give them to God, because that is who I work through. Okay. Collectively. Divination, expansion, outdated form. Look at this again, you guys. That's 3 different decks of communication. Oh my gosh, like this can't be any more loud, right? We have to update. So, and I also talked about this, the way we do healings, the way we connect with spirit. There should be no limitations except for what we do to ourselves, right? So, okay, let me slow down. All forms of modalities have been divided. All religions have been divided. We need to bring it all back to the wholeness. And this is how I teach in my academy. You have to learn to be the channel. Learn to communicate through spirit. How does spirit communicate? Do you know how spirit communicates with you? We need to upgrade that. So in doing Hertz, I channel Hertz frequencies. With my first DM, music was much more heightened than with my new one. We have a different path. So I've been lessening off the channeled Hertz stuff, but the frequencies I get aren't always the same of what they say to use. So does this make sense? So we have to be open to new forms of communication, new ways of doing things, new ways of healing people, coming together as a wholeness. So there's a reason why I get new downloads of Reiki symbols, because it has to be brought back to the togetherness, to the wholeness. Okay? No separations. Everything's been returning back to the whole. And so that's what Spirit's saying here is divination, expansion. Okay? Fine, go learn Reiki, but that's only one little limb of who you are, right? Does this make sense? Go learn mediumship, but again, only one little limb of who you are. And I know you could say, well, I can't do. Some people will tell me that. They went, well, I can't see through my third eye because it's blocked. Keep saying you can't and you won't, and just do the healing and eventually you'll be able to, but it may not be your strong point and that's okay. It doesn't mean you can't. So we all have strengths, but we should all be able to tune in. Okay? So we need to upgrade that. And also pay attention to how Spirit's communicating with you, because the way path, honoring the way path. If we don't know how Spirit communicates with us, we're detached from the heart space. There is a baseline of communication. I'll tell you this. I teach it through my courses, so it's a little layered. Numbers, synchronicities. They are not just synchronicities. That's your baseline of Spirit communication. Noticing sounds, noticing frequencies, baseline communication. Okay? Feathers on the ground, money being left, and just seeing them, paying attention to them, baseline communications. It is our job to take it further, upgrade, integrate, and rise higher. Do you know how to ride the frequency waves? I hope you do. Okay? And then get rooted, my friends. Back to the full circle message for the group and the collective souls. Root into the earth. See the sigil? If you want, you can allow it to download. Just accept it. Look, a little releasing right there. We should be upgrading. We should be going from a 7 main chakra system to a 10 main chakra system. We should be upgrading. But connect to the earth very deeply at this time. That's how you're going to get in the eye of the storm. Don't be afraid. Don't be looking outward. Look inward. Everything in the earth outside is within you. You ever heard that saying, the universe is within you? It is true. We are fragmented pieces of the universe. So the more we go inward, the more we can actually see outward. Everything's a reflection of you. If you got this annoying thing repeated in your energy, you need to go inward to heal its connection. Somebody keeps hurting you repeatedly, karmic patternings, go inward to heal the connection, and then it will stop repeating. 666. Okay? All right, that's it for the collective message. Colette wants a message. If y'all want a message, let me know. That's what I'm here for. I ain't afraid of no ghosts. If you want a healing, I'd love to give a healing to somebody who's never had one. I'm always open to that. So don't be afraid to ask. Okay. Sometimes I charge. I'm not charging right now. These are just for you, my gift for Friday the 13th. Let me get a little sip of water, and then I will call forth Colette's energy, her spirits, her guides. 444. You guys, the synchronicities in this live are off the charts. And I do keep hearing that song, I Ain't Afraid of No Ghosts. You know what's funny is, yeah, ghosts are real, spirit's real, but when you see those videos and it's based in fear, it's not light. You know what I'm saying? Like, spirit doesn't communicate through fear unless it's something lower vibration in which they're letting in, they're drawing forth. So we have quite power within us. Okay, Colette. Excuse me, tuning into her energy. I'm being called to citrine. Citrine is coming up for you. I don't have one, but I'm hearing citrine is needed for you. Citrine, citrine, citrine. I hear it very loudly. Your sacral and solar plexus need to be focused upon. Number one. Let me tune in a little bit more, because as I did that, I feel a little bit blocked. And it's like in your sacral towards your solar plexus. Also pay attention to your dreams. So that might have been your message. I'm not sure, but I'm hearing that. So let me tune in a little bit more. I'm going to get past this block. Of course, everything's through your permission. So deepening your power connection, there's an upgrade that's like wanting to come through for you. I feel like you might be a light worker. You might already do these things. I know you're into, because I can hear your comments. I see your comments. So I know you're in tune with things, but there's actually more that's trying to come through. There is shamanism. There's a side of shamanism. You're very well of that. That's just one layer to the many. Yeah, so very layered. You are a light worker, starseed, light worker, many titles, right? So oddly enough, I'm hearing being aware of outsourcing. I'm like, what does that mean? Be aware of outsourcing. Like, don't give your let's let that come full circle. Be aware of outsourcing. And I'm not going to try to decipher. We're just going to put that in our pocket for a moment. So sometimes as a healer, we want to help people by carrying their emotions. This is what they're talking. Don't do that. Use the earth more, but you know this, but I feel like it's just a tendency that you have. It's natural, innate, like subconscious. You'll tend to carry on their emotions. So more boundaries. Be aware of outsourcing, stronger boundaries, stronger boundaries, stronger boundaries, especially with the male and around your area energy. So I'm relaxing into your energy because there's a little bit of a wall. Like, I don't know you. You know what I'm like? I don't know you. And so we're just holding space, calling in peace, calling in light. I need to bring a little bit of light into your aura connected to your sacral and solar. Excuse me. Absorption is through free will, but I'm just bringing it through. So do you do earth journeys? I see you doing like a facilitator, guiding earth journeys. If you don't do that, do that. If you do that, I mean, you probably already felt the call. I feel awareness within you, but guiding earth journeys, there is somewhere you need to go. Either energetically or physically. Excuse the burping. There's a lot of releasing you need. You're a little behind on releasing there. It's just your energy's like, blah, freedom, blah. So forgive that. Earth journeys. Spiritual intake, something with waterfalls. Do you live near a waterfall? Can you go near a waterfall? I need you near a waterfall energetically or physically. Like, I don't expect you to go buy a plane ticket, but there's something there. There's something behind a waterfall and an earth journey you will guide people through. I have no idea if you're with me in that, like maybe you don't do those and you're like, what the hell did you do? It's there. I need to pull a card now. And then there's something with a male. So I don't know if you're in a relationship or there's one coming, but be aware of blame shaming, right? On either way, when it happens, it's about clearing it. It's not necessarily a karmic patterning. It would be like a twin flame relationship. And so they're asking you to clear it, not walk away from it. Does that make sense? So if you don't know if you're a twin flame, that's kind of what's reflecting through. Clear it rather than walk away from it. Clear it rather than walk away from it. So whatever comes up, it might fool you to think it's karmic patterning. It is, but it's to heal it, not walk away from it. That's important for me to say that. I ain't afraid of no ghosts keeps coming through. So ghosts of the past. Ghosts of the past. Put everything in your pocket. These are available through playback as well. So just, if it's too fast, just put everything in your pocket. It will make sense what it needs to. Citrine keeps coming through. So when I hear ghosts of the past and I think of a male, he needs to clear other female energy. I'm not necessarily saying he's cheating, but he's carrying other female energy. Whatever that means. Sometimes we carry relationships forward. Maybe it's a wound of cheating from the past, and maybe he keeps spewing it out. I don't know. And this might be future tense. Either way, just put it in your pocket. You'll know what to do with it. Protection. Okay. Protection, but here's a bond. You are a twin flame. I don't know if you know that. It might be validating that for you. You probably already know that. I don't know. Yeah, twin flame bond. Protect the bond you have at the heart space. Be aware of your communications. He's bringing some female energy forward, whether he's aware of it or not. So I'm not saying there's cheating here, but I feel like there's a third party energy here. So maybe that's preventing a get together if you aren't together yet, or he's bringing it into your relationship now. So we need freedom from the past, ghosts of the past. I ain't afraid of no ghosts. That was you. So release the ghosts of the past, especially through this present male energy that's either, because it's a twin flame, whether we're together or not, we're together. There's no separation. Oh my gosh. Are you kidding me? I love you. Nice to meet you, by the way. I've never done any work on you. Citrine is her birthstone. Did not know that. No relationship, but you are a twin flame. So it's probably blocking the relationship. So what was the karmic piece that I mentioned? Whatever is so they're asking you to heal the karma. Okay. Heal the karma. Don't run. Whatever comes up, clear it, heal it, protect that bond. It's at the heart space. Bond. Okay. She's going to the beach soon. Water. Yeah. Do you do earth excursions yet? Like, do you do guided earth healings? Because if not, then you can start on your own. When you go, just tune into the earth if you don't already. Because they're asking you to clear the karma between your twin flame bond. There is a female energy present that is not yours, and it's mucking up the connection. And then you have communication. Okay, so take your level of communication further, and I think that goes to full circle back to the beginning of your message. And citrine is your birthstone. What a beautiful light you are. Thank you for allowing me in your energy. Do you have any questions? Spirit always says, when I say things, it's so good to put it in your pocket because we never know when it's going to come back around. It is. It absolutely is blocking the relationship. So because you're connected to your twin flame, this goes full circle. Clear your sacral and your solar plexus a lot. Ooh, I just got chills all the way up the left side, which is the masculine side. So you may feel it in you, but we're both connected, right? So everything in my DM is a reflection of me. Everything in me is a reflection of my DM. So the way we heal our karma with our twin flames is by healing us. Okay? So even though it's a female energy, look to your energy, look to your past relationships, heal any connections, heal any fears, cheating energy. We may not understand the connection, but it's being pointed at. So just go in and heal it. Okay. Just call it forward, drop it into the earth, call it forward to heal. All right. That was awesome. Thank you for all the validations. I had no idea. I love it. Thank you so much. I love doing messages. You do earth excursions for yourself. Is there our purpose? Is that a question? Can you reword that? Is there our purpose? I do earth excursions for myself. Is there our purpose? Is that your purpose? Like, what does that mean? Purpose is layered, if that's what you're asking. It's a key component to a piece of it. You are a healer, very much so, not just for yourself. You can literally walk people. Like, you don't even have to have them come to a physical location. You can totally, the more you surrender, the more you give inward and allow spirit to be your guide, which is what I do, right? That's what I teach. So I know what I'm talking, it's true. You can literally just travel them everywhere. And it might come in stages. Don't get me wrong. It may not come out in one day. But if you just open up to it and follow the nudges without hesitations, an awakening, more of an awakening will ensue. Absolutely. Okay. And the more you awaken you and align to that heart path, the more your DM's going to rise up too. That's how we unite, is releasing all that's not the heart path. True that. All right, Air 5, that was awesome. Thank you for allowing me in your energy. Does anybody else want a message? I'd be willing to do a free healing. If you've never had one from me, I'm not afraid. I don't want to know anything about you. I didn't know anything about Colette either. It's fun. I love it. This is just my gift for Friday the 13th. If not, that's okay too. We can end this out today. My kids want healing, so I suppose that would be my excuse to give them one. I do healings on animals. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Yes. But also, Colette, take that further. So, yes, your first step is, hey, I connect to the earth, part of my purpose. Yes, but also awaken them, right? Align them, awaken them through the earth. It goes deep. Goes deep, my friends, even into past life regression, Spirit saying, but that might be a lot for you to do it one time. It'll be your awakening. Yeah. Super cool. Super cool. So allow the past, also Spirit wants me to say, to come to your now. A little different than what they teach. Even in, like, as a hypnosis master, I'm like, do schooling for that. I have a psych degree. I talk about that. They want you to go into your past. And as a twin flame, we don't want to go backwards. Nobody should go backwards. When it needs healing, it will come forwards. We want to bring it forward. Just keep that in your tool bag. Okay? Our intention's everything. Stay in the here and the now and allow what needs to rise into the now. I did this like guided hypnosis one time on YouTube. Sometimes I just do them to raise my vibration or something, you know. And this lady has like this PhD or something. And so she does like these guided hypnosis things. So I thought I would try one. And all of a sudden, like halfway through it, she's like, now go into your past to a time. And I was like, oh, it hit my solar plexus so hard. Like, it was painful. And the next day I was so angry. I was like, I had to call all my power back. I had to clear the past. Do not go backwards. That is not how we heal the past. I know that sounds different, but the Akasha Records, remember Saint Germain came in with the Akasha Records info? Because it's always present. Okay, the past is gone, but our karma is with us always. Our energy is with us always. So we don't have to go backwards. We don't want to go backwards. And on my twin flame journey, y'all, I had a walk-in twin flame. That's not normal. My DM died. I say died because he's no longer in existence, period. I saw it's actually in a video. It was a workshop that we did because he wasn't rising. It was a constant attack that I was under, and it was before I undid the Holy Grail. I know that sounds, but it's true. And so, like, it was painful. It was so painful. It was very hard to be connected to that. I had to stand in so much strength, and it lasted about a year like that. And then God said enough. And God gave him a final warning. He had a choice. I was scared. I didn't want to go there. I didn't want that. I was snappy that day. Like, I blocked a lot of people from the workshop. You can see it in the recording. I was not okay. I didn't know what it meant. I didn't know what was going to happen. And I'm bringing this up for a specific reason, because as a twin flame, which Colette is, it's good to know these things, but we're all connected to it. These were lessons that I've learned through this journey. That day I saw God, like, we were there, and I saw my DM, even though we weren't physically right next to each other, we are soul connected. The next thing I knew, I felt like he knew it was coming. I could hear it in his songs and his communications. He was prepping. And I didn't know how this was going to go down. And that day, my chest started hurting so bad. You ever felt a heart attack? I did that day. I felt his heart start to stop. It was so painful, like the pain in my chest. And I was like, and it was shocking, like truly shocking. I couldn't. At one point, God was like, focus. We got to keep going, because his heart stopped. And then I had to be present through that pain and shock. I was literally shocked. And then I saw God take his soul out and rip it in half and put half into a new person. I knew my first DM. I don't know externally my new one, but internally I do. Then all of a sudden I got a new song. I saw him activate these chakras. It was like crazy chakra system that we have. I saw that and I was like, and I literally had to process one death and get to know a new person internally. It was shocking. It was absolutely shocking. To this day, I have the past creep up. My old DM stuff will pop in, our old journey, old thoughts, and I'm like, I have to clear it. It does not exist anymore. So when the past comes up, clear it. Just call forth any healing, clear the past, stay in the now. Okay? Because anytime that happens, it takes my power away. Even though it hurt, it was shocking. 3 months after that is when we undid the Holy Grail, and I didn't know that was coming. I had no idea. You can watch those videos. I did that live on YouTube on Christmas Day of 22. And then it made sense. I'm like, now I know why God did this. Now I know why he had to choose, and now I know why I had to feel that. And I kid you not, you guys, when he took on that soul, when the soul shifted, I had to carry that blue light, and my face went, poof. Like, you could see it. It was so weird. My jawline shifted. That was intense, and it's not normal. I bring it up because you're all going to feel pieces of that. We're all connected through the masculine and the feminine, no matter who you are, twin flame or not. We have to connect to a new DM. The moon, new DNA. It's part of the ascension. And you can watch it all unfold. It was pretty cool. But whenever your past comes up, just literally intend to heal the connection and stay in the here and the now. Okay? Don't let it take you backwards. Don't reminisce. Don't feel bad for past. You know what I mean? Like, don't allow it to take your power. Okay? So in any time you hear past life regressions, how many times do you hear people going, I need to go to my past. I need to go sit with my child, my childhood self. No, you don't. Just heal everything that took love away. Right? To heal the inner child means that we heal ourselves to the point before judgment, ego, greed came in. When we were pure, remember that part of yourself that was pure, that sponge, excited? You knew you had like something to do in the world and you were ready to take it. There was a little bit of you in there somewhere before somebody said, sit your ass down. That's not how we do things here. Right? Before life took that away. Before timelines that were false came in. Before we had to focus more on money than love. Those kinds of things is how to heal your child. Okay. Did that help everybody? Nobody else asked for a message or healing. And I just saw 444 when I said that. So on that note, I guess we can be done today. Colette, I really enjoyed your space and time. Thank you for all the validations. That was beautiful. I love the way these messages come through. I knew nothing about you. I love the validations myself. Happy Friday the 13th, everybody. Happy Friday the 13th. I don't know what's in store next. Pay attention to the things, though, like the pyramid activations and the predictions and all that. They're unfolding right now, and the videos are there. So you're welcome to watch them. Okay, you don't have to, but you're welcome to. They're all there, and you'll know what to do. Just don't give in to the shadow. Okay? Don't give your power away for nothing. That's not love. That's codependency and victimhood. Right? Okay. Well, on that note, I love you. Have a great day. 555 I just saw too. And I'm also hungry now. So I'm going to go eat some grub. Stay sane, stay centered, stay in the eye of the storm. Because stuff's about to get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. Okay? And we want to get bigger with it. All right, my friends. I will see you later.